Hello, everyone. Today is May 20th, 2021. This is the Kubernetes storage SIG meeting. Today, we're going to go through our 1.22 planning spreadsheet. So last Thursday was the enhancement freeze. So we will go through the spreadsheet and see which made it and which didn't. And the next deadline is code freeze that's coming in July 8th. And also I see that SIG release has opened up this spreadsheet for feature blog. So if you're working on a feature in 1.22 and you want to write a blog for it, please let one of the SIG leads know, either Sad, Michelle Yang, or myself. We can add your feature in this spreadsheet to track for the blog. Okay, so let's go to the spreadsheet. The first one is a delegate FS group to CSI driver instead of kubelet. Is Herman here?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, the cap is Mars is being tracked. We're still blocked on CSI spec change. I spoke with Saad a little bit offline. Then I spoke with Deep yesterday.
Excuse me, can you speak louder? It's a little, I don't know if it's because of my background noise.
Okay, can you hear me
Yeah,
better?
much better, thanks.
All right, sorry. Yeah, so the cap got merged. This is being tracked for 122. And but the implementation is still blocked on the CSI spec change. I spoke with Saad a little bit offline, and I spoke with Deep yesterday in great detail about how it will work in Windows possibly. And he mentioned that in Windows there's equivalent SIDs, and you can use set ACL commands to lock down volumes. Although right now in Windows we are not using the group membership for anything actually, so everything runs with run as user, and other cases like yeah. So basically, like he says, yeah, the using the applying the sublime the GID Windows drivers could use it in future if they implement it. For immediate use case, obviously the use case is pretty clear what we want for Azure file, but yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
I'll take another look at that CSI PR. Thanks for the offline conversation.
Thank you. And the next one is, okay, this next one is tracking, there's a copy, allow volume expansion one.
It's basically, I think, not just copy, but you can remove some name from this quarter and put my name back. But
Okay.
it's basically umbrella issue of making sure the resizing as a whole goes GA. So we talked with SIG release about whether allow volume expansion needs uh, a cap of its own or not. But at the same time, the problem with copying it to PV is that once it is copied to the PV, and user changes the storage class definition and maybe sets allow volume expansion from true to false or false to true, whatever, the field in PV is not going to get modified. So the behavior of expansion will change. It may, so that's a behavior change. And spoke with Michelle about that. And the Kubernetes official deprecation guidelines said anything that is guarded by, has a direct API field, that and that is in a V1 API field, it should not change its behavior. That should be supported literally until V2 is made. So I reached out to like API reviewers, because copying to PVs will and then like ignoring whatever is there in storage class will is kind of a behavior change. So what is their guidance is? And I haven't heard, but it was like from them actually since I reached out. And then also like we spoke whether the copying allow volume expansion to PV, if it is a blocking item for resizing going G or not. So I think so far the consensus was it should not be blocking for resizing going GA, but yeah, that's the gist so far. So we may be just making a design on the allow volume expansion copy to PV in this quarter. We may not actually do any implementation.
Okay. So, okay, so this one will just, should we change this to design then? Oh, but maybe it's still beta though, so maybe it's still keeping.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
It's just there are several issues we are tracking
Yeah.
so that we can make it go GA. So yeah,
Okay.
at least if it not this quarter, at least next quarter. Then.
Okay. Thank you. I think the next one is also yours. Is recovering from resize failure.
And this got merged, and yeah, it's big tracked. We'll work on implementation. I'll split the cards and yeah.
Okay, thank you. Next one is secure Linux recursive permission handling. Okay, so that's design.
I think nobody's working on this at this quarter.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we should move it down or something. So cross it out or something.
Move to next quarter, maybe.
Yep.
Okay, so maybe cross it out. Okay, let me cross it out now. I'll leave it here so that we can add it back. All right, thank you. Next one is the CSI entry read-only handling. Cheng is looking at this. Let's see, is Cheng here? Does anyone know any update on this? Sad?
I don't think any progress has been made. I
Okay.
can sync up with.
Okay, thanks. And next one is issues related to assuming volumes are mount points. This is a bug fix. Xing or Mukahid? Okay, says the race. 2.2. Okay, something got reverted. Is this still kind of a work in progress? Maybe looks like. Does anyone know anything about this? Or is there no update? Next one is storage capacity tracking for pod scheduling. Is Patrick here? I believe this one is still same data. Michelle, do you know we're doing anything for this?
I think it's staying in beta, and we're concentrating on bug fixes and other improvements.
Thank you. And next one is the PVC inline ephemeral volumes. Are we doing anything? Same thing. Okay. Thank you. Next one is the CSI ephemeral volumes. This is the existing API. Matt. Is Matt doing anything in this release?
Not in 122. So I think we can cross this one off.
Okay. Thank you. So next one is spreading over failure domains. So this one is dependent on the next item, volume group API. So I will need to update the cap and then schedule a real meeting again. So this is we're still doing design in 1.22. And next one is CSI output tree, move iSCSI driver Christian. This is still work in progress, Michelle. Christian's here.
What was the card? Sorry,
this is a CSI driver auto tree, move iSCSI
Okay.
driver.
Test. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Michelle merged the PR this week. We are seeing builds of this happen automatically on staging. I think what we need to do next is attempt to promote one of these builds, but I think automatic builds are already configured for this. So we've got it added to the SIG storage and Kubernetes k8s.io. And we just
Yeah.
need to promote one of the images.
I've also seen Humble has been making a lot of PRs
Okay.
to the repo, and so I think we might want to get all those PRs in before we cut a release.
Okay. Thank you. Next one, PVC volume snapshot namespace transfer. Christian?
Yeah, unfortunately, I have not done anything on this, and I'm going to have to relinquish it back up to the community.
Oh, are you saying you're not going to be owning this anymore?
Correct.
Oh, okay, then we need to look for.
It needs a new owner, unfortunately.
How do you have a cap out?
Yes, there was a cap that was the work of a couple of other gentlemen that I was attempting to continue, but I have not been able to review it or address the CSI secret issue that was discussed in the one meeting that we had since.
Oh, okay. All right. All right, so this one, we're looking for a new owner. Yeah, so if anyone is looking for some work to do, this is one item that we are looking for a new owner. Yeah, so you can let one of the SIG leads know, or you can also reach out to Christian.
I think there's someone in the comments that's interested.
Oh, the chat. Oh, okay, great, thank you. Stuff. Let's see. So I will change Christian's name to.
There was another effort by someone else to actually open a different implementation or different version, isn't it, Christian?
Oh, really? Okay.
For something similar or same thing, basically.
I know that this has been discussed a couple of different times, and I think John Griffith may have.
No. Mikihiro, the person who implemented.
Oh, this is Masaki speaking.
Masaki, yeah.
Yeah. I've commented on their cap about the different approach of transfer. It's almost the same to originally proposed by John Griffith.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So sounds like this one, we probably need to have some design meetings to decide which approach to go then.
Yeah.
Okay, and then your suggestion is on the cap review.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Next one, CSI Volume House. So we had a meeting to discuss what is the next steps. I think right now we will need to continue to do some design in 1.22. I think we're looking at how to enhance scheduling and using this health field. And then I also got some requests to expose this metrics, just to, not just in the events, but just like other volume stats, expose them through a Prometheus. So I think that's another thing we can look into. I'm not sure if it makes sense to have it both in Prometheus and in events, but I think we can look into that. So there are several different directions. So this remains in alpha. Next one is a volume populator then.
Yeah, so this one, the cap was merged last week by the feature freeze or the enhancements freeze, but after making a pretty significant API design change, which will require this to stay in alpha for the coming release. We discussed this in our Tuesday volume populator meeting and in yesterday's data protection working group meeting. We sort of went into detail on what the exact plan is, so I won't recap it here unless you guys are interested. But the short version is we're going to eventually be deprecating the data source field and replacing it with a new field called data source ref that looks identical, except that it has slightly different semantics when creating new PVCs. And the reason for that is because it was impossible to evolve the existing data source field to what we needed it to be without breaking backwards compatibility in some very unlikely but possible scenarios. So that change is coming in 122, a new alpha field.
Thank you. And next one is Cozy. Do we have anyone from Cozy team here to give an update?
This is Srini. Actually, we are working on the cap. There are lots of comments from Tim Hawkin, and we are trying to incorporate. And then the coding side, we are trying to shoot for alpha for this release. So that's pretty much.
I can add some detail to that. So
yeah,
Tim's response to the KEP was that there's a lot of stuff in there that like isn't relevant to Kubernetes at all. And I think his hope was that like most of the cozy reaching alpha work could be done entirely out of tree and didn't need a KEP at all to do that. And then he proposed that we write a KEP just for the parts that actually integrate with Kubernetes proper. So like when we're ready to make the kubelet side changes and the pod API structure changes to actually have kubelet attach buckets to pods, like that would require a KEP. But the rest of it, I think the suggestion was don't use the KEP process because it's way too much information for the Kubernetes API reviewers and they don't care about that.
I don't think he said we don't need it. I don't think he said we don't need it. It's just that we don't have to. It has still tracked by the release team, but it's like tracked out. Yeah. It's like Windows.
But I mean, all of the API details don't need to be in the KEP.
Yeah, so we don't have to. Yeah, maybe that KEP probably has some details.
He just wanted the KEP to focus on the pieces that touch Kubernetes, and then all like the gRPC stuff and the exact structure of the various API objects, I think, were less important from his perspective.
Yeah, we still need to get his API review done for this one to be, if we want to call this a Kubernetes feature. So we still need to get the teams.
Yeah, we should clarify exactly what he wants in the spec versus what he doesn't want.
But the short answer is it's not approved for alpha. Like the KEP didn't merge.
Yeah, but we can still target alpha in 1.22 release. So yeah,
like an out of tree alpha.
That's exactly what I meant. I mean, out of tree.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Okay.
So it's basically it's tracked. Oh no, actually it is a out of tree. It's tracked but out of tree. So that's the category.
Okay.
Same as Windows. Same as CSI Windows. CSI Windows we're doing GA this quarter. Okay, thank you. Okay, so next one is change block tracking. I don't think we have any update on this. We'll get back to this. Will still be design. Next one is a new rewrite only access mode. Chris.
Hi, sorry, find the unmute button. Yes, the KEP is merged, and right now it's going through review for the CSI spec sidecars and Kubernetes changes.
Oh, okay, great, thank you. Okay, so next one is CSI proxy for Windows. Is Xing or Deep here?
Yeah, hey. So for this one, last week, we managed to merge all the changes with the PRR populated from Xing, and Michelle had a lot of great feedback on the API before we went to GA. So that's basically that's reflected in the KEP and now in the process of getting implemented in a backward compatible way.
Thank you. Yeah, so this one is as I said, this is the same situation as I shouldn't say the same situation, but this is the same category. This is like tracked but auto tree,
Exactly.
similar as a cozy. This is actually the example referenced by SIG release. Awesome, thank you. And next one is CSM migration core. Jiawei.
Yeah, so for CSM migration, I think there is one bug around the volume attachment garbage collection. So currently there's already a fix out. I'm gonna take a look. Other than that, I think there's no like there are still some small issues. I think there are no major problems around that.
Okay, thank you. Next one.
Yeah, this one deprecate entry drivers. So in 1.22, this release, we're deprecating storage OS, Qualbyte, and also Flocker. I already sent out an email to SIG storage, and also
What
I
is the
sent
other
out
one?
a
So
PR.
what's the second one?
Oh, it's called Qualbyte.
Qualbyte.
Quobyt. Yeah.
Qualbyte.
So
Right.
I already sent out NPR to deprecate them in the release notes.
Okay.
The next step is to send out another PR to update our Kubernetes website. So in
basically,
addition to this,
they don't have they are not going to do this migration. They just directly deprecate those.
yes,
And
they don't do migration.
Okay, they may or may not have a CSI driver accordingly, basically.
Yeah, actually, Flocker, it's already like their company is like not running anymore. So it's just like we're not actually officially deprecate this. So we're deprecating this. And for Storage OS and Qualbyte, we already confirmed that their maintainer said they don't want to support CSM migration. And they don't think there's like active entry users, so we can deprecate those.
Okay.
Yeah, and in addition to this, there's also another a scale IO. This driver has been deprecated in 1.16, and in this release we already removed this plugin from our code base. So Scale IO is not supported anymore.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, next one, CSM migration, vSphere. So I checked with Debian about the NFS. So he said, I thought I added it. Okay, yeah. So basically he said that FC does not support NFS before data store. We do have a plan to fix this, but right now we don't have a timeline yet. So that's about the NFS part. Next one is the CSM migration Azure disk. Is there any update on this one? Michelle, do you know anything about this?
I think it's still gonna remain in beta.
Okay.
I'm not sure if they plan to turn it on by default. Jiawei, do you know?
I need to check the document. We have a CSM migration meeting tomorrow. I'll go through the timeline there again. And I also need to reach out to Andy again to see if there's any planning changes.
Okay, thank you. And GCE?
I think Azure file you can also uncross out. I think
Azure file is already crossed out.
We can uncross it.
Oh,
I think
uncross,
it was
okay.
crossed out from the
Oh, I see.
because I think it was
Okay,
crossed out
actually-
from the last quarter. I think.
Okay, so they're actually doing something. Okay.
I think we need to sync
Check with them.
with Andy and yeah.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Next one is the GCE.
Yeah, this is continuing. We actually found some interesting performance regressions around how the CSI sidecars watch that have been causing problems in our end-to-end tests. So we're fixing that, but I think in terms of this upstream, especially, we're still on track for on by default in 122.
Okay.
And then, as mentioned last time, we're going to keep it as beta because so people have the possibility to switch it off if necessary.
Okay. Thank you. The next one is AWS. Matt. I don't know if Matt is here. Does anyone know the status for this? Saad, Michelle? Shall we?
I think this is another one we should we need to sync up on tomorrow with AWS folks.
Okay. Okay, so this one, do we cross this out or do we need to uncross this out? The OpenStack Center. We doing anything for?
We are not doing anything. It's enabled by default in Kubernetes 121, and we are collecting. Well, I'm not collecting anything.
Okay.
I'm waiting for some bugs if they appear or not.
Okay, so I will just cross this out for now then, since it looks like
Yeah, I'm just watching bugs. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Next one is Cephfs and the Ceph RBD. Is Humble doing anything for this? Looks like there's no update for some time.
My understanding is that there's still discussion in the Ceph community whether or not they want to support CSI migration.
Oh, okay. Right. Thank you. The next one is update topology labels. Okay, is this only vSpheres left, shall we? I see the vSpheres.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So Devian said he will work on this. Oh, looks like I copied this one
Okay.
too. Copy to here.
Is Layla the correct order or is it Devian?
I think Leila has been working on this for other drivers, right? So I think Leila has been working on this for other drivers. So I just checked that Joey was checking with me the other day. I asked Devian, Devian says he's going to submit a PR for this.
Yeah, maybe I think maybe for this one, let's assign it to Debian.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, next one is always owner reclaim policy. So this one didn't make it. The cap didn't got merged. So so Deepak is still looking at this and trying to address. There are some comments from Jan, so he's still trying to address this. So this is moved to 1.23. So we're doing design. Next one is a control volume mode conversion between source and target PVC. So I need to sync up with Jean-Chen and come up with some design on this. So right now we don't have anything yet. Next one is a secret protection. Masaki, you want to give an update?
CAP is not merged yet, and we are still discussing on the scope of the protection. I was originally thinking about it is only for secret, but there might be a similar requirement for config maps or other resources. And also, we might need to think about a generic way to protect some resource from deletion. So in that case, we need to discuss with SIG API machinery.
Okay. Thank you. So this one we so probably okay. So this is going to move to 123 then, right? I think it's need some time, more time.
Yeah, it depends on the scope. If we are okay with only secret and we don't need any further approach, like we just use the same approach to PV and PVC protection, I think we can still go to 122.
Oh, but then but this one we will need to request for exception, right? So I mean,
Yeah.
when are you planning to talk to API machinery? Because that need to, if you want to still want to try 1.22, then you need to have this discussion soon, get this resolved, because otherwise it'll be late for the exception. This is already like today is already like 1 week after the deadline.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, I will start discussion.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next one. Okay, so now we have a few items that we co-own with other 6. So the first one is a user ID ownership in config maps and secrets. Jiawei, do you know what is the status
Yeah.
for this one?
So there is a cap for this, but I think Haman has some comments and concerns, and Ambashak, I think maybe he might be busy and haven't replied yet. I'll sync with him on Slack for this. I don't think this is gonna make it to the 1.22 though. But the design might be able to merge.
Okay. Yeah, let's see. This one looks like it is designed anyway. I don't know if it's tracked. I don't remember this one tracked by us. Okay. Thank you. I'll just say you will follow up. And okay, so next one is non-graceful no shutdown. So we talked about this one last time, that we're going to do our prototyping. We're trying to get the cap merged as provisional. So I have updated the cap. Michelle, if you have a time, if you can take a look. But I'm not sure. I need to check with the SIG release and see if they still allow us to get a cap merged as provisional, because they have all these new requirements. You actually have to specify a stage as alpha, beta, or GA. You can't specify anything else or leave it blank. So I actually suspected that the CI will not let me pass if I don't like finish all the other things. So so I need to check with them on that. The next one is to enable user namespace in kubelet. Oh, okay. So I think this is the one that they are requesting an exception, but I think Hemant, you are looking at this and you have some comments on this, right? Was there some concerns here?
Yeah, I think they addressed the concern. So
oh, okay.
Derek LGTM'd and approved it. I don't know if if you want to go ahead, we can go ahead and give the exception thing. It's from storage point of view, it's of limited use, but yeah, we already kind of knew.
Oh yeah, so you're saying we're okay. come on.
Yeah, sorry, I was saying that, yeah, I mean, like, if you want to, yeah, I would have no problem granting the exception request.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then we can let them to move forward. Okay, thank you for your feedback. I think they're still, looks like they're still waiting for SIG networking. I haven't seen any response from that side as well. Okay. Okay, and the next one is, okay, PVC created by StafelSet will not be auto removed. Okay, so this is Matt.
Yeah, this is good. So the enhancement is all in, and the API is almost in. Discussing whether we should call the flag on delete or when deleted, but we're almost there. So this is still on track.
Great, thank you. And next one, okay, volume expansion for StafelSet. Yeah, so my coworker Shalini is looking into this. So she says she's working on a cap. So let's see if we can give a update next time. And next one is content notifier. So yeah, so team actually has approved this from the API reviewer side. We are waiting for SIG node to review this. So we didn't make it into the we're not trying to cap merge deadline. So so this is still design, but we're trying to get cap merged early for 1.23. The next one is Kubernetes utils mount split into a new repo.
Yeah, this is Srini. Yeah, there is a notice PR that we put it out on the old repo that is merged, but there is another PR on the case that requires approval. I already got an LGTM. Once it is done, I think I am pretty sure that it's the last PR. So I'm just pinging the reviewers to get the approval. That's all.
Thank you. Next one is this is a prioritization and volume capacity. Are we doing anything for this, Michelle, in this release? This is the
I think it made it to alpha last release. We're not promoting it to beta this release. So I think it's mostly just more testing
okay
for now.
Oh, I don't know why this one says beta. Okay, so we should change this one back to alpha. All right. Target big. Oh, this is just a question mark. Okay. Staying alpha. Right. Thank you. And the last one is the CSI service account token. Michelle?
Yeah, this one's being targeted for GA. And the cap has been approved.
Oops. All right, thank you. Okay, that's all we have in this spreadsheet. Yeah, so we also have this small doc here. Just this is just all the enhancements we are targeting in 1.22 release. So it's here. It's in this agenda doc. We have one thing here. Oh, Masaki, do you want to go over this, or is this I don't know if this is just copied from last time.
Oh, we don't need to discuss here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's all we have. We don't have other issues. Does anyone have anything else you want to discuss here? Yeah, if not, you have 15 minutes back. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Take care.